Hey guys. So, like I said on his thing, you can look at it, whatever. It's a guy named Redfield Philosophy. I've been subscribed to his channel for like maybe 2.5 years, something like that. And I like his content. I do not agree with a lot of stuff he says, like mainly the flat Earth theory thing. He thinks the Earth is completely flat. And he uses illogical arguments to prove his flat Earth theory. And, I mean, it's fine, believe what you want to believe. I personally would rather trust science than trust some guy who doesn't have any scientific knowledge. That being said, Redfield is a very intelligent dude. Some of his arguments he's done in the past were very, very intellectual. Like I said, he's a very good guy. My favorite videos he did were the equality ones, where he was basically talking shit on how a woman can sit there and beat the hell out of a guy, but if he defends himself, it's considered horrendous and, satanic and all that crap. Which I don't believe in hitting a woman. I don't. At all. Never will. But anybody who says they've never thought about decking a woman at least once, no matter who she is, could be your sister, could be your cousin, whatever, could be your girlfriend. See, it's like what Bill Burr said. When a woman sits there and says there's no reason to hit a woman, I can think of 10 to 15 reasons right now. I said I think about it. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. There are monsters out there. There are guys out there that'll just turn around, come home to the wrong food and just go freaking crazy. Those guys, just like Bill Burr said, deserve to be buried underneath the prison. Like I said, I don't believe in ever hitting your spouse, whether it's a male or female. But according to some of these people, hey, you can see me now. According to some of these people, I'm a sexist pig because I say this stuff. How is it sexist when I'm telling the truth? Like I said, I'm completely against hitting your wife, hitting a woman, beating the shit out of your kids. I don't believe in it. Granted, I've never been in a life and death situation where it's either I knock the bitch out or I die. As if that happens, then I'm gonna knock a bitch out. My life isn't worthless. Nobody's life is. But that was one of Redfield's big things. Like, that's one of the things it's one of the things that made him really famous, was those particular videos. Now, these flat Earth videos, like I said, some of the stuff he says is just, it's illogical, but it's funny. I watch a lot of stuff that just make me laugh. Like religious zealots trying to explain gravity through God, or trying to explain the universe through God and all this, it cracks me up. If they ever wanted to debate me, I would do it. I'd probably lose because I'm not the best at debating. I'm better at just getting my point across, and I'm not saying I'm violent about it. I just, I'll say what I need to say and then I stop talking. Usually, unless I'm on a roll, like some people that know me know that once you get me started, I won't stop. Especially when it comes to comedy. I'm better at being funny with other people, like playing comedy off other people. Can't just come up with a joke and, make people laugh. It's like a punchliner, if you will. You open yourself up for a joke, I'm going to get you with it. And I would expect you to do the same thing to me. Like today, my wife and I were at El Charro's. It's a really good restaurant here in Dodge. And no, they don't endorse me. It'd be nice if they did, but they don't. Anyway, there's a guy up there. And he's a waiter. And he's cool as hell. And this pretty hefty older lady asked him, can I go through the back door? Because that's where all the cars are parked. Anyway, she said, can I go through the back door? He said, well, the back door is locked, so no. And she was like, well, my car's parked back there. Without missing a beat, he was like, well, everybody's car is parked back there. And he just turns around and walks away. Literally today, that was like the funniest shit I've ever seen today. That shit cracked me up. Like, I was sitting there with my wife, eating lunch, and I lost it. That shit was funny. And the woman saw me laughing, and she got mad at me. It's like, it was funny. I'm sorry. I have a sense of humor. If I see humor, I laugh. You know, a lot of people need to grow a pair of balls and get a sense of humor. If someone got you with a joke, hey, you can get them with a joke later. But, you know, just jokes are jokes. They're just words. You know, if you get offended by a joke or by, you know, statistics or, you know, pure intelligence, you get offended by something like that, then you need help. You know, it's like what I know I say his name all the time, Ben Shapiro always says, facts don't care about your feelings. Which means if I say a joke and it offends you, I'm still gonna laugh. If people are laughing, it means the joke was funny. Pull up your underwear, stop being a little baby, and laugh too. You know, people are too serious these days. Just fucking laugh, man. You know, even if, you know, you find some moronic thing funny, just laugh. Don't care about what people think about you. Just fucking laugh, man. And they even say laughter can heal. You know, especially depression. Laughter is really good for depression. I mean, how do you think I stay happy? I watch stupid shit on YouTube all the time. It makes me laugh my ass off. You know, I argue with people. Well, not really argue. I guess you could call it arguing. I argue with people on YouTube about flat earth, religion, stuff like that. And like I said, people come up to me and talk to me about this stuff. And they get pissed off when I throw logic their way, and I laugh when they're trying to throw their religion at me. It cracks me the hell up, because I'm like, dude, no matter what you say, unless you have evidence, it doesn't matter. It's like what I was telling the waitress at Applebee's. It was like a couple days ago or something. It's something I know Christopher Hitchens said at one time. With an extraordinary claim, you need extraordinary evidence. So you can claim the world, but unless you have evidence, it doesn't matter. And what Neil Tyson deGrasse, or Tyson Neil deGrasse, the physicist, brilliant man. When it comes to psychology, the most fickle thing of the mind is memory. Like, your memory can be faulty. People can lead you through a memory and make you think false things that didn't happen at all. And I see it all the time. Like, great example, I was being accused of sticking my hand up the back of a chick's shirt. I never did it. But a particular dude, which I don't talk to anymore, swore up and down it happened. And so did his lying good-for-nothing girlfriend. And our mutual friend of the time instantly believed him. He believed him so much that he even said that he was there when it happened. No. For starters, I never did that. You know, I'm not going to just randomly stick my hand up someone's shirt. You know, my mom raised me with a little more respect than that. And granted, I cuss. You know, I talk about stuff that's off the cuff. You know, I piss people off. If I hear something, I'll comment on it. Great example, when I was just giving my wife a drink. I do it every night when she's at work. Brought her a drink, and I swore her coworker said something about his balls or something. And I looked at him and said, "Did you really just say that?" And that's not what he said, but that's what I thought he said. And, everybody else thought it was funny. And, that's the kind of comedy you need. You just need to grow up. Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, George Carlin, their comedy would not last today because people are so freaking just PC that it's pathetic. Don Rickles' comedy, he wouldn't be a comedy king right now. He wouldn't be a legend in comedy if he was a comedian today. Being a comedian where he was back then, the comedy was gold, man. Same with Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, just all these massively entertaining people. Their comedy would not be good today because you have to be so politically correct and so worrisome about people's stupid feelings that comedy's out the window. I'm considered a racy prick because of what I say. And I'm like, good. I honestly don't care. If you don't like me, don't talk to me. Simple as that. It's really not that hard. There's billions of people out there. You think your opinion offends me. The only people I really care about their opinion is my family and my wife. And, of course, some of my friends, which are basically family to me anyway. But, hell, even parts of my family I don't give a shit about. But, you shouldn't worry about what everybody else thinks about you. If you're happy with yourself, then be yourself. Don't be normal. Normal's fucking dumb. You gotta, if you want to stand out in the world, you have to be willing to push the boundaries. And yes, you will offend people. I offend people all the time. Especially when I talk about religion or sexism or, flat earth theory. It's funny how pissed off flat earthers get. That's some of the easiest comments. Like, I guarantee the comment I just said on that flat earther thing about, with extraordinary claims you need extraordinary evidence. I know that mainly retrains to religion, but science has proven time and time again the earth is round. They have pictures of every angle of the earth. You can get on Google Earth and watch it. You can watch it move. They're like, oh, well, one of the comments on there was, the moon and the sun are the same size. Are you out of your fucking mind? No, the earth is a lot closer to us. It is the only thing that rotates around us because it's in our gravitational pull. The only reason why they seem to be the same size is because the sun is so far away from us that it looks smaller. And here's the best example, if you will. You see a car coming at you. 300 yards away, looks like a little dot. 250 yards away, it's a little bigger. By the time it's right next to you, the car is huge. It's the same thing. For one, we are all of us, our planet, all the planets are revolving around the sun on a tilted axis. People try to refer to the earth as a top. They think it's spinning like this. The earth is actually 30 degrees like this, spinning. I mean, science has gotten so far to where they can even tell you exactly how fast the earth is spinning. And I'm sorry, but if you were on a flat disc and you're spinning, everything would be in the center of the disc. You don't believe me? Do the experiment yourself. It's not that hard to do. Get yourself a plate. Put stuff on the outside of the plate. Take a funnel or some kind of anything that has a point at the end and spin that bitch. What's going to happen? Everything's either going to come inside the plate or fly the hell off, depending on how much force you put on that plate. But no, this is what they believe the gravity is. According to most flat earthers, most of them that I've talked to, they actually believe the earth is flat, and the way we have gravity, the way we're sticking to the earth, is that dark matter is pushing up on the earth. The flat earth, if you will, the disk, is pushing up on the flat earth, constantly pushing up. Never stopping, just keep pushing up. And that's what's giving us gravity. How? I mean, yes, way back when the Bible was wrote, people thought the earth was flat. If you honestly think the earth is flat, go to the edge and take a picture. Show me that the earth is flat. Show me that we're just in a globe. We're in a snow globe, and every once in a while, your God sits there and says, hey, let's make it snow! No. You know why? Because it's not going to happen. I mean, you can go up into outer space. It's going to cost a shit ton of money. Hell, if you want to do a perfect experiment, get yourself a rocket. Just a normal rocket. Put a camera on there. That's good for extreme cold, because that thing ain't coming down. Shoot it straight in the air. You do this, you will see the curvature of the earth. You're not going to see a flat plane. If the earth was completely flat, then why is it if I take a telescope and I look directly east or directly west or whatever, I don't see the ocean. I don't see boats on the ocean. I don't see planes flying across. You know, if you ask any aviator, they'll tell you the earth is round. In fact, anything that has to do with aerodynamics has to do with round. I mean, there's a reason why most of the stuff we have are round. It's not because, oh, we're just trying to be dicks. Not because, oh, the government conspiracy. It's common sense, man. I mean, you have the theory of gravity, which is the earth is spinning so fast that's what's pulling us down. If the earth stopped, literally, if the earth decreased in speed by 1 mile per hour, we would fly through buildings. Everybody would be dead. If it decreased by 1 mile per hour. If it gradually decreased, then yeah, we probably wouldn't die, but we would definitely feel it. You'd lose a lot of weight in a matter of seconds. You go from my weight, which is 240, all the way down to 100 pounds in 10 seconds. I guarantee you're going to feel it. But the flat earth theory is dumb, man. Anybody who believes in the flat earth theory. I mean, what are you, Nordic? You believe in Thor too? I mean, come on, man. It's like I said, the flat earthers, the religious zealots, you know, the New Age feminism, the BLM, all these people just need to grow up. You know, we've been taught in schools. We've seen massive, massive evidence of the earth being round, not flat. As if it was flat, you would see every continent when you go up into outer space. You'd see every continent at the exact same time. You don't. You can literally get on the internet, get onto one of their satellites, and watch the earth move. You can watch the earth spinning on its axis. You can see storm clouds in New York. You can see both polar ice caps, because they're both on each side. If there's a hurricane, you can see the asshole in the middle. If there's a tornado, you'll see that too. And like I said, I know this because I've done this. I've got on the computer. I've looked it up. I've watched this stuff. I watched it very closely. And I'm not one of those guys where I see what I believe. I believe what I see. You know, I do extensive research. And like I said, your mind can play tricks on you. You could see stuff that's not actually there. It's called a mirage. You know, it happens to people all the time in the desert. It's probably why they thought that Muhammad flew away on a white horse in Islam. Don't ask. It's really retarded. That's another word that people are going to get pissed off about. Retard. There was a kid I went to school with. I think I've already told this story, but anyway. He called himself a retard. He didn't say he was a mentally challenged American. He said he was a retard. You know. But, you know, people get pissed off at stupid stuff, man. Grow up. And stop blaming Trump for the coronavirus. You idiots. You really think Trump is the reason why the coronavirus is going on? Really? 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 I mean, do you have any idea how dumb that sounds? That's like saying you see a blue Corvette flying down the road at 60 miles an hour. It was red. It was blue, bitch. Everybody saw it. It was blue. That's how dumb your argument is. Just like the whole, how's this? If you believe that, let someone punch you in the face as hard as they can. Just as hard as they want. Because you are too damn dumb to realize what's going on. So if someone hits you in the face, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to scream for your social justice warriors. Hit them back. Oh, I forgot. You're too damn dumb to do that. And see, a lot of people, especially most Democrats that I've talked to, are way, way too PC. You know, if you can't take a simple joke about something that has nothing to do with you, for one, what the fuck are you doing in my conversation anyway? If I'm talking to somebody and you jump in the conversation saying, oh, well, that offended me, why are you listening? I don't know you. You're not fucking me. You're not paying me. I don't know you. Go away. You know, my buddy thinks it's funny. He's laughing, or she's laughing, whoever the buddy is I'm talking to. So it has nothing to do with you. Like it was a fucked up joke. I told a fucked up joke about it was one, we were having, we call it a Jew off. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't care if you're Jewish. It doesn't bother me. It was a joke that I heard in school. I overheard a teacher actually saying it to some of his buddies. It was stupid, but it was funny. He said, what does a Jew and a pizza have in common? What's the difference between a Jew and a pizza? And everybody was like, what? And he said, Jews scream when you throw them in the oven. Yes, completely fucked up. Like, you're literally joking about the worst thing in history that ever happened in the last 2,000 years. Besides Christianity and Judaism and all that. You are literally making a fucked up joke about a really fucked up situation. But it still had some funny qualities to it. Because I have a sense of humor. I mean, yeah, I was like, oh, that's fucked up. But it's still a joke, man. Just like people have dead baby jokes. I mean, I heard one that I nearly hit a guy with a beer bottle at a bar for saying this. Guy said, how do you make a 3-year-old cry twice? And, you know, anybody who has a kid, fuck it, fuck your feelings, I don't care. It's a fucked up joke, I'm not gonna lie. It's extremely fucked up. Like I said, I heard this joke. I didn't make this joke up. This asshole said, how do you make a 3-year-old cry twice? And a woman looked at him and said, how? He said, when you're done with her, you wipe the blood on her teddy bear. It's a fucked up joke. I mean, come on, it's about child molestation. It's about just nasty, gross, inhumane shit, okay? I almost hit him with a beer bottle. She actually found it kind of funny. She was like, that's so fucked up. And it was fucked up. Especially for the fact the dude's married with a 3-year-old kid. I mean, if he can find humor in that, either he's heartless or he's just fucked in the head, man. Again, I was dumb. I was like 16 years old. I was picking up my buddy from the bar because I didn't want his ass driving home. I'm a responsible friend. Like I said, I almost hit him in the head with a bottle. Anyways, I mean, you hear dead baby jokes, you hear racial jokes about white people, Mexicans, blacks, Chinese, you name it, you hear it. You hear sexual jokes towards women, sexual jokes towards men. And by the way, women make dirty ass comments too. Y'all aren't innocent. None of y'all are. Every one of you have had a dirty thought in your mind. Every one of you have literally wanted to tell your parents to fuck the fuck off when they told you to do something. none of you are 100% innocent. It is literally impossible to be innocent completely. So let's get that out of the way there. I don't care if you got tits and a vag, you're not innocent. In fact, one of the most prolific serial killers is a woman. Most of them are. See, this is going to go into psychology. Male serial killers are more sexually oriented. They predominantly, it's how they get off. It's how they get a rush, they get off, they get a boner, or whatever. It's by doing this stupid shit. Female serial killers are more for gain, like political gain, class gain if it was from the 1700s or 1800s, and obviously money. You know, there was a woman and something or other that I was listening to on my podcast. In 1900, she killed all of her kids because she could not take care of them. There's another female serial killer who killed at least 53 elderly people. Never got caught until the very end. She got caught on her 54th because she failed the kill. I know this is fucked up, but let's stop right there. How do you fail to kill a 96-year-old man? And Arsenic Anna was her name. She used arsenic poisoning to poison all these people. She poisoned her husbands, got rich off them. Poisoned her husband's kids, got rich off of them. Like I said, there are sexual serial killers that happen to be female, but it's very, very uncommon. And just like with most serial killers, they tend to stick within their racial, just for lack of better words, their race. You know, Mexican serial killers kill Mexicans, black serial killers kill blacks, you know, white serial killers kill crackers, whatever. You know, they usually stick within their race, and it's usually with the opposite sex. Great example, look at Ted Bundy. He didn't kill black girls, he killed white girls. Jeffrey Dahmer killed men. Most of them were white. He's fucking insane, they all are. But it goes into the psychology, you know? It's just like psychology of anyone. All psychology is watching people. Watching their reactions to certain things. You know, if you can study the mind, for one, it's very helpful to know who someone really is. You can tell if someone's lying to you. Tell if someone is untruthful when it comes to a relationship just by the way they act. You know, studying the mind can make you a very dangerous person. It can also make you a very brilliant person. And see, one of the psychology classes that I took, it was actually a college course, and one of my friends was taking it and didn't want to take it anymore, so I started doing the work. It fascinated me. It was, obviously fascinating about religion. The psychology of religious people. The same endorphins that people release about their loved ones, about their wives, their kids, is the exact same endorphins they release about Jesus and God. So, you're not just saying you love Jesus because it's, whatever. You're saying you love him because you're actually in love with the guy. You're in love with a 5'6" Jew who's extremely homophobic 2,000 years ago, who may or may not have existed. And like I said, it all goes with child indoctrination. If you weren't indoctrinated as a child to be a religious person, you probably would not be religious. You would look at it like mythology, like I do. And don't get me wrong, I was brainwashed as a child too. I wasn't fully committed to it, but I tried. I went to church camps, I went to church every Sunday. Sometimes I even went to church on Wednesdays and Thursdays for these things they call elite meetings or whatever. A preacher told me one time he wished I believed, because I am so adamant about telling people how I think especially when it comes about religion. You know, he's a psychology major. His name's Pastor Rob Schmutz. Great guy. Absolutely brilliant dude. I don't agree with his religious views. It's a little radical, but he's still a great person. You know, his wife's a great person. His daughters, his whole family, they're great people. You know, he's a hell of a guitar player too. Anyway, his psychology classes that he took made him a better preacher. Made him one of the best preachers I've ever seen. I even told him, if I were to blindly believe, I would want you as my preacher. Because he's that good at manipulating the mind. That's what psychology is. Just the manipulation of the mind. You know, studying of the mind, and eventually, if you become a master psychologist, you can manipulate the mind. Like I said earlier, you can manipulate memories easily. You don't have to be a psychologist to do that. You just got to be so convincing in your argument that people will actually believe it. I mean, that's how people get thrown in prison for something they didn't do. Because the witness of the time was so coaxed into believing this crap that she actually thought it was her memory when she was coaxed by the police to do it. Granted, there are some people out there that are just trash and deserve to be in prison. Or worse. For example, bring back the death penalty. If you're a worthless piece of trash, you killed children, raped children, whatever, raped women, you deserve to die. You don't deserve to be in prison. You deserve to fucking die. I don't care if you're a preacher. I don't care if you are a dad. If you rape somebody and there is actual physical evidence of you doing this, you deserve to fucking die. Granted, there are some rapists in prison. Well, sorry, people that were accused of being rapists that really didn't do anything. You know, this whole rape culture crap. I can literally touch a girl on the arm and she can claim rape. That's how bad it is. For one, there is no rape culture out there. They say there is one in college. 1 out of every 53 women actually get raped. If, say for example, actually it's 1 out of 56 or 57 now. But say for example, you're in college. There's 500 women, 500 men. So there's usually more women than men in colleges now. You're sitting there, minding your own. You got a penis, so obviously you're a dude. I don't care if you think you're a woman, you're a fucking dude. Say you're in the library, just reading. You get up to leave, a woman walks by you, and you accidentally brush against her, she can call that rape. Not sexual harassment, rape. And instead of them trying to get actual evidence, they instantly believe the broad and put your ass in prison until the date. If you go to jail as a rapist, you're not getting out of there. Very few men who go to prison for rape ever see the outside of those walls. They see a lot of the floor because they're dead. It's, you know, there is no such thing as rape culture. That would literally mean that there are guys in colleges or standing there waiting to rape you. As soon as they see you away, they're going to steal you into a corner and rape you. That's what rape culture would be. No, it doesn't happen. Because there's no such thing. Yes, there are terrible guys out there that do rape. Women rape as well. Here's one that really pissed me off. A male and a female both had sex with a 14-year-old girl. And I mean literally, they both did everything they could possibly do. Like, he fucked the chick. She fucked the chick. He stuck his dick in her. She stuck her tongue in her and all that kind of... I mean, it was a whole mutual thing. Mom finds out about it. Dude's 19. Woman is 25. Dude goes to prison for 15 years. Never sees the outside of a cell. He's dead. Woman goes to jail for 6 months. Comes out and does not have to put her name on the fucking list. What kind of shit is that? It's like, I've heard of lewd fondling. You know, you grow up a young kid, you fucking pervert, you nasty son of a bitch. Or you, there's also that lewd texting, I think it is, where you can, like, text dirty things, and you can go to prison for it, which I do agree. If you're going to be texting dirty stuff to a child, to someone who's, like, you know, under the age of 16. Because face it, a 16-year-old girl knows exactly what a guy wants, knows what the guy is looking for. I've met more 16-year-old girls that are more manipulative than I ever have anything else. I've seen it all my life. I've seen guys being forced to be, they're being blackmailed because this girl lied about her age. She was 15, fooled around with the guy, say 25. She blackmails him saying, well, since you touched me, and now you know how old I am, I can get money out of you so you can shut me up. Or I'll tell my parents and your ass is going to prison. I've seen it happen multiple times with a lot of people that I went to school with. There's a guy I know that's in prison right now, and I mean, he did indeed fuck this chick. He was my age. She was 15. He fucked her. It was obvious. I mean, he knocked her up. But in the same aspect, when you're a horny man, any man can, you know, vouch for this. And like I said, man. If you're a horny single man, and a beautiful woman comes up to you, you take everything at face value. Just like you do if you're at a bar. You're at a bar, woman walks up to you, take it at face value. She's attractive, I'll buy this girl a drink. Women do it too. This guy's attractive, I'll buy a drink. I'll accept the drink from him. How's this? Next time you go to a bar, ladies, buy a man a drink, instead of having them buy you drinks all night. You know, how about you spend your money for a change? You really want equality? Do that. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent again. If rape culture is true, then I've never seen it. And I've been on multiple college campuses. I've been to multiple parties in college campuses. Granted, there are pigs out there that would rather give a woman a drug than try to actually get her. And I don't blame the dude. Okay, yeah, I blame the dude. He's a fucking dick. You know, if you are so emasculated that you have to resort to drugging a woman senseless to get your dick wet, you need help. There is a woman out there for every man. There's a man out there for every man if you like men. There's a woman out there for every woman if you like women. There's plenty of people out there. Somebody out there will love you for who you are. You don't have to put out a front. You don't have to be all this, you know, stiff-necked piece of shit asshole. Be yourself. Somebody out there will like you. Don't hide. And I actually met a female who said she was a victim of rape culture. And I was like, so how many times were you raped? She said, oh, I was molested. How did the guy molest you? Did he actually penetrate you or did he just touch you? And she's like, well, that's kind of uncalled for. What? Rape means he physically stuck his dick in you. He forcefully stuck himself in you, or he forcibly fingered you, or something. Actually, that's considered molestation. That's lewd fondling. That's not rape. Rape is only if you stick your dick in the female. Or you stick your dick in a dude, which is a whole other type of rape. Okay. She told me, well, he groped my tits, groped my ass, and he played with my vagina outside my pants. I was like, so he fondled you. He didn't rape you. And she was like, well, I look at it as rape. Did he penetrate you? Like, did he actually stick anything inside? She said, no, then he didn't fucking rape you. I mean, yeah, he should still be in prison for molesting you. I mean, how old were you? She said she was 15. How old was he? 17. And I know this is kind of like blaming the victim, but just like with any kind of evidence, you need both sides of the story. And the first thing I asked her, which of course she denied, I was like, were you throwing yourself at him? She was like, well, no. And she just she looked down to the left, which is, if anybody knows psychology, down to the left is usually a tall tale of someone lying. Anyway, she swore up and down she wasn't doing anything. There were people around when this happened. I asked everybody else, her friends and his friends. They all unanimously said she was all over his ass that night. That she was groping him as much as he was groping her. The only reason why she turned his ass in because he didn't go home and sleep with her that night. And I've seen that happen. I'm not saying rape is the woman's fault. I don't believe that at all. You know, when a woman says no, you stop. But if you're going to accuse a man of raping you, and I actually had a girl try this on me. If you're going to accuse a man of raping you, then he better have fucking raped you. One of my exes, dated her for about a month. Fucking psycho bitch. That's why I broke up with her. She would babysit kids. So I brought my PlayStation over. You know, she didn't have a pizza cutter, so I brought my big Bowie knife over so she can cut pizza for the kids. And long story short, we broke up. I wanted my shit back. She kept just constantly making excuse after excuse why I can't go over there. Why I can't go over there and get my shit. And I finally told her, like, I still even have the text messages on my phone. She told me in a text message, if you bring the police over here, I will tell them that you laid hands on me and you raped me. And I was like, when? When have I ever physically hurt you or ever physically laid my hands on you besides smacking your ass when I'm fucking you or pulling your hair? And she was like, the other night I said no. I was like, no, you didn't. I was like, you pulled me into you. This bitch was gonna claim what I call the white girl card, which, you know, everybody does it. But it's predominantly white girls that do it. Sorry, but some white people are fucked up. And that's a white dude saying that, so you know it's true. Anyway, this woman, which some of the people that know me know who I'm talking about, was trying to say, she was trying to keep my shit is what it was. She didn't want to give me my shit back because she had nothing. She had a Nintendo Wii that barely fucking worked and a little 20-inch TV. She wanted me to bring my 55-inch TV over. I said, fuck you, no. I was like, what am I going to do when I'm at home? Because she lived in another town. Long story short, I got my shit back. She said, and she tried to sit there and say, well, I'm still going to try to turn you in. Go ahead. I have evidence that you literally said you were going to set me up. And I showed her the text messages. And just to be sure that she wouldn't break my shit, I sent it to some other people. So I had backup proof that this bitch texted me and told me this shit. And that's just me. I've seen worse before. I saw a guy who was, like I said, I'm not going to name drop. He was a very dominant figure in the town I lived in. I lived there a very long time ago. It was a very short time that I lived there. I lived there for like 6 months. He was very, very popular, you know. He helped with the community, you know. He would spend his own money fixing roads and building trailers for people. He was a really nice guy. Married, had a 16-year-old daughter, 12-year-old daughter. I think a couple boys too. So in other words, his wife and him are getting busy. Anyway, this girl, who happened to be his daughter's friend, accused him of rape. Before I go on, let me explain something. Popular people do, like, and I saw this in school, the popular kids get away with a lot of shit. I've seen them get away with a lot more shit than I ever fucking did. It's only because they're popular. They're the elite of the classmates. They're usually dumber than a sack of fucking hammers. They glide through school. because guess what? They're popular. And like I said, just completely idiotic morons. But they passed school because the teachers liked them. They didn't like me because, obviously, with my personality, it's not that hard not to like me. Anyway. This dude met this girl one time. She stayed at the house one time. The time she stayed at the house, he was in another town doing a fundraiser for the town he was helping. Was nowhere near the house or even in this, like, he wasn't even in the state. He was doing a fundraiser in Oklahoma. And this was in Missouri that this supposedly happened. This, like, 14, 15-year-old girl swore up and down that he raped her that night. Her own friend, the dude's daughter, was like, my father wasn't even in town. And she even went so far as to try to steal something from him. Or not steal something. She tried to leave her underwear in his room to try to prove that they did something. So they ran a rape kit on her. She was still a virgin. Never been penetrated or touched at all. And the worst part is, this girl has done this before. She did it once when she was 12 and she got away with it because they didn't run a rape kit on her. She said it happened over a month ago, so it's not going to show. The girl was smart. Long story short, guy lost a lot of his credibility because everybody believes a little girl. They believe a 15-year-old little harlot that this guy who has been, literally, he lost his virginity to his wife. You know, I knew the guy when I was in school. I knew his wife. They were very, very in love with each other. Anybody ever wanted a storybook fucking lifestyle, these guys had it. You know, his family was wealthy, her family was wealthy. They got together and they just instantly connected. And they waited till marriage to have sex. I don't believe in that shit. I believe you gotta test drive the fucking car before you buy it. Yes, I made an analogy of a woman's vagina to a car, but fuck off. Like I said, fast forward 10, 15 years. Again, like I said, he was older than me. He was a senior in high school when I was in 8th grade. I still knew him. You know, we went to the same parties. He was nowhere near a goody good two shoes. He was a party animal. But he did have morals. A lot of them don't. So did his wife. Anyway, long story short, he lost a lot of his credibility in this town. So bad that he had to move. He literally spent like millions of dollars fixing this town. And the whole town turned their backs on him because a 15-year-old little harlot tried to turn his ass in for rape when there was no actual evidence at all. Like I said, wasn't even in town. That's duh number one. Obviously, he couldn't have done it because he wasn't in town. At the time it supposedly happened, he was on a podium trying to convince these people to donate money to the school of the town. Number 3, his wife was there with him. There was video and pictures of them being there at the supposed time of this rape. And one more point. At the time of the supposed rape, the daughter called the dad and asked if she can come stay the night. This guy trusted his kid so much, he's like, sure, I don't care. He's just, be careful. You know, ask the babysitter. The babysitter was a female, a 19-year-old female. You know, ask the babysitter. The babysitter can handle it, fine. Yeah, I don't care. You know, just be safe. Take care of your sisters. And brothers, I think. Yeah. According to the daughter, they did nothing but eat ice cream, watch like 16 and Pregnant or some other fucking retarded ass show. You know, that's another thing that's fucking up this culture. They're glorifying a 16-year-old girl fucking around with a piece of shit dude. Granted, this girl's kind of a piece of shit too. Every one of them are mouthy, arrogant, dumb girls. Fooling around with this guy. Getting knocked up. And then they videotape these guys' lives. It's like, well, fuck, man. In the town I grew up in, every 16-year-old was fucking pregnant. I didn't see camera crews rolling in to watch them. It's like, what is that other one? Teen Mom. You know, I'm gonna have to go buy more cigars. My wife loves these stupid ass shows. Along with, what is that, something about an American teenager. I mean, it's been off for a while, but she still watches it. The most retarded fucking show I've ever seen. Okay, not the most retarded, but in today's society, they're all just fucking stupid. I don't remember the name of the show, but the girl is the one who played in Divergent. She's the main character in the TV show. Literally, I think there's like 6 or some odd seasons. I don't even know. The whole storyline is she goes to band camp. She's a virgin. She gets knocked up by a dude. Has a kid by him. And the whole story is her fighting with him, getting with another dude, breaking up with said dude, getting back with him, trying to get married to him, and then she goes to college and leaves the baby with him. And this is entertaining for people. It's a sappy ass show. You know, when I was growing up, my mom used to tape Days of Our Lives because she was always working. You know, my mom was an actual woman. She had a job. She had more than one job, actually. There were times of the day where she would come home, feed us, and then have to go back to work. She worked 3 jobs at a time, sometimes 4 or 5 of them at a time, to keep food on the table for my sister and I. There were plenty of times where she didn't eat to make sure we did. That's a woman. That's a mother. I can't say any of these bitches I've seen around would actually do that. I know a woman right now who's pregnant, doesn't have a job, doesn't even care about getting one. My mommy will take care of me. I gotta smack that blonde hair off your head, you dumb bitch. If you're grown enough to spread your legs and be wanting to get pregnant, you're grown enough to get a job and keep that bitch. And guys, you're not innocent too. Yes, I'm gonna come after you too. If you think you're man enough to stick your dick in a woman without a condom and risk getting the girl pregnant, then you're man enough to take care of that kid. It's like I've said time and time again. Any douchebag can father a kid. Any douchebag can stick his dick in a woman and knock a bitch up. It takes a real man to sit there and be a dad. It is harder than hell to be a dad. I mean, come on. Look at me. You know, my sister and I are about 1.5 years apart, if that. We're both rowdy, rambunctious, and very opinionated. This man came into our lives and became our dad because our father took off. I don't blame him. They were both young. They both were dumb. You know, I have no ill will towards my dad, no ill will towards my mom when it comes to that. Their life is their business. But this man stepped up. And my father even gave him props for it. You know, you stepped up knowing this woman had baggage. And you took care of my kids. You took care of my bloodline. You know, he has mad respect for my dad. And like I said, I love them both, you know. My dad, the preacher, has been there ever since I was little. My father, I look just like the fucker. Blonde hair, blue eyes, that's what he has. Other than that, exactly alike. Same mannerisms, same voice, same hairline. I look just like him, except I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Other than that, we're both atheists, both martial arts fanatics, both love to work. Granted, sometimes it's hard for me and him to keep a job because we get bored with the job. You know, we like a job to give us a challenge. That's why I like working at the machine shop. You know, yeah, I don't get paid a lot of money. I don't get paid what I should. But I like the job because it's physical for one, and two, it constantly challenges your mind. You know, my dad, leads something or other for the school. Makes decent money. But the reason why he does it is because he enjoys the job because it challenges him every day. He doesn't have to do the same shit every day. You know, if you have a job that constantly nags at you, makes you do the same stupid shit over and over, you're going to get bored with it. You know, I know quite a few people who absolutely hate their jobs. Just for no reason. Oh, my job's boring. Make it interesting. You know, when you go in, instead of doing the same dumb shit where you walk in, you clock in on the computer, and you go sit down, when you walk in, do something different. Say hi to some random person. You know, go clock in and mop the floor or something. You know, do something to make the job a little more adventurous, if you will. I'm not saying go up to the first woman and smack her ass and don't expect anything in return. Chances are you're probably going to get punched in the mouth. Especially with some of the women today. If not by her, you're going to get punched in the mouth by one of her friends. Today's culture. When I was younger, if you stalked a bitch, you went to jail. In today's society, apparently if you stalk a chick, you can sleep with her. And I've seen this with quite a few women, where apparently their stalker becomes their baby daddy, or they sleep with their stalker. It's like that TV show on Netflix. It's called You. It's about a stalker. And granted, the girl he's stalking is gorgeous. But, dude, why stalk? I mean, yeah, he's one of the few stalkers that's... I mean, okay, yeah, he's insane. He killed her ex-boyfriend and killed her best friend. Hell, he literally poisoned the ex-boyfriend. Which is... If you look at it, poison is more of a female way of hurting somebody. You know, I'm not saying it's predominantly females, because men did poison too. But, like I said, if you go to serial killers, when a woman kills somebody, she didn't stab a motherfucker. She usually poisoned him. Or hit him with a car or something, or shot him. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually poison. Especially with female serial killers. 9 times out of 10, it's poison. But, he poisoned the first one. The guy had like an allergy to nuts or something. He ended up having a deadly reaction. And he knew he had an allergy to nuts. The second one, he was running behind her best friend, and he clocks her in the head with a fucking rock. Wow! Out of nowhere, just clocks a bitch in the head with a rock. I mean, I've met people that were insane. Literally, I was like, this guy needs to be in a straitjacket in a padded room. And I've said the same thing I've seen that a lot about women. Some women just are fucking insane. They get away with everything. I saw a thing on the news the other day where a woman got away with murder because she was on her period. She slaughtered her husband and her 2 kids, and all they did was put her in a psych ward. They said she was in a mentally disabled state because she was on her rag. That's a monthly thing. If a woman can get away with murder when she's on her rag, why does she expect a man to actually put up with her shit? You know, if you look at it that way, the man must seriously love you if he's willing to put up with your shit every 25 days when you're bleeding. Because it literally gives you, because according to today's culture, it gives you an excuse to be a fucking psycho. No, you slaughtered somebody, you get slaughtered back. I don't care if you got a vagina or a dick or both. You kill somebody, you deserve to die. Okay, let's see. We talked about flat earth first. Talked about the fallacies of that crap. A little bit about religion. Then I went on a tangent about rape culture and how there's no such thing. Let's see. I'll stop it there. It's about an hour-long video. Most people probably won't even watch to the end of this thing. But yeah, if you actually did watch to the end of the video, like, subscribe, make requests if you want to, send somebody to challenge me, I don't care. Anyway, have a good night, guys.